So here we are with the TXT-1. After the last video, I did not show you what I did. I was practicing or trying to film with the camera while driving with a thumb steer, and no, I cannot do two things at once, and I fell off the ramp the wrong way, which is in this clip here. Well, that's not good. I broke it. Now the consequences of falling off the ramp, I broke the truck. And what I did was I broke the plastic here. So let's just look. This was just temporary to get it home in one piece. I put on a couple of emergency cable ties. But I completely sheared the piece off here. I've loosened the tie link, which I'll have to have a look at. And the other problem is I don't know whether it's just a scrape or what. It might be just a scrape, but I thought it had damaged the gearbox, but just in case, the casing of the axle. But just in case, I brought a new case. So let's get it all apart and we'll have a look. Now I've removed the axle and the steering thing. I thought it might have not been broken. It's not bad, but there's a fracture running all the way. I don't know if you can see it, if I get the focus. There's a fracture running all the way through the axle from the impact. So what I'm going to do is fit a complete new axle housing. I've got one, so I'm going to rebuild that first, and then we'll work on the upgrades I've got for this part, where the major brake is. Now, being on the these are still fitted to the TXT-2, you can get the axles quite easily. So this is a complete brand new set, but it does fit the juggernaut as well. So we're going to fit that part, and the top case. These two parts are for the jug because they have a different sort of steering. So with the main part back together, we've got to just move over the transfer gears, and these are quite easy to pop over. There we go. Just going to add a drop of grease so I can get to it all easily. There's a close-up of it. And we'll fit the new cover. Does that need cleaning up? Yes, it does. Like I said, the cover's probably fine, but I'm just going to put everything new on. Then I know it's going to be good for some time. There we go. Looking at the axles, yeah, you can see the crack on the inside. It's not bad, but the thing is, I don't know how much weaker it is. It's probably not too bad, but I don't want the wheel falling off and doing more damage. And the part weren't super expensive. So we've stripped off one side and fitted the new, and here's the other. So what we've got to fit back on, I've got to remove it first, not fit back on, is the ball that connects to the lever arm for the suspension. And that has to go on the inside. No, not that hole, that one. Not over tightening them. Now we've got to break the ball off the broken bit. God. Not so easy. At least it's coming out of the plastic, so I can't moan about that. Into the first hole. A little bit of thread lock, and put on the nut on the other side. Now this was held on with 3 screws. That's the repair done. Like I said, it's slightly cracked axle, but like I said, I've replaced it. And the bumper support mounts. There is a difference between these and the original, because the original ones they bolted through, where these ones, these are literally thread in with 4 bolts. So far they've seemed pretty well made, so but this is the acid test, is how well they go together on the axle in one piece. But I foo-parred, I've got to take this side back off. It's because I've not fed the steering arm through. That's going to want them all. And now we slide on to here. And we'll start setting the bolts. I'm not going to use thread lock, I'm just going to use the washers and just keep an eye on them. Now I'm going to have to say these parts have fitted very well. This has been no test fit or anything, so it is a live fitting. I might eventually buy a couple more and do the other end, because they do look really nice being in aluminium instead of the sort of grey plastic. Sort of matches in more with the chassis. So all I've got to do now is put it back together. There we go, all back in one piece. And like I said, I've got the parts with ease to fix it, but I'd say when running older Tamiyas, be more careful than what I was, because it's cost about £50 in parts to repair all in. I probably could have got away with the axle housing, but the thing is, I wasn't going to take the chance, because one more bashing it possibly could rip the whole end of the axle off, which would be even worse. But like I said, you've got to be careful with these older trucks and the plastics. Some of them are more brittle, but these new alloy parts, which I might get another pair when I've got the money, and do the rear, because I think they just look so nice. But no, the TXT is now just got to have a bit of check over the steering, that's all straight, and we can do another video before she goes back in the loft. for a while.